Okay, for this video, I will be showing you how to get to the drum unit section of the machine. This would work. I'm going to be using a Toshiba 5520C. This would work the same on a 5540C, 5560C, 6520C, 6530C, 6540C, 6550C. 6560C, I might have missed a few models, but you get the picture. If it looks like this, the procedure will be the same for all the models. Okay, first thing you need to do is we need to remove this cover. That's the first thing we need to do. In order to do that, you have to pull out the first tray. You're going to find two screws on each side, right here and right here. We need to loosen that. They're fixing screws, which means they won't come off when you loosen. Oh, in order to do this, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to be using an electrical screwdriver. You don't have to use an electrical screwdriver. Just a regular Phillips number 2 would work fine. I'm just using an electrical to make this faster. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and loosen the two fixing screws. Just like that. If for whatever reason you have one that the screw comes out, that means that the plastic cover is broken. No big deal. Just make sure you don't lose a screw. But they shouldn't come off. They're fixed on the machine. So there you have it. Here is your unit. We need to pull this unit out. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to slide out the duplex unit, the side door. Slide that out. Next thing we're going to do is loosen this screw that's inside this blue lever. We're then going to come over here and pull out what they call the TBU lever. It's a transfer belt unit lever. We need to make sure we pull that all the way out till it snaps, just like that. If you look on the side, you're going to see a marking. Let me put a little light on it. Should be enough. Right there. If you see that, you're going to see a marking right there. You got to make sure that is lined up flush with the side cover. If you see that lined up, that means you pulled it far enough. If it's not there, keep pulling. Some machines are harder than others. If your machine's really dirty or old, sometimes this lever gets stuck. It's okay to get pliers and pull it out if you need to. So make sure that marking's there. Next step is right lever. We're going to bring it all the way down. This lifts up the transfer belt unit. Holding this down, you're going to bring the left lever down till it locks into place. That is very important. You need to do that in order to lift the transfer belt unit up. Next step is we're going to grab these handles, pull them straight up. Then we're going to twist them, just like that. Okay? Again, sometimes, depending on your machine, some are harder than others. I've seen some of these transfer belt units or the sliding units, housings stuck. So sometimes you got to give it a good pull. But anyhow, once it's in this position, you want to pull towards you. Just like that. Slide it out all the way. Now these are your 4 drum units. So the way you take these out, it's very easy. You want to put your finger on this end as well as this one and lift it straight up. Now when you go to set these down, you don't want to set them down on the drum. You're going to scratch it. Any little ding, any little mark you put on your drum, it's going to show up in your copy. So you got to be very careful not to ding your drums. So what I like to do is I like to lay it on its back. This way you don't damage anything. Just like that. Do the same with all of them. Just like that. Side by side. Make sure not to ding your drum. You got to be very careful. Just like that. Now, you also don't want to expose these drum units to light for very long. So what I like to do is I like to cover them with sheets of paper. If you're going to keep them out sitting here for a while, I usually like to just cover them with paper, block the light out. This way you don't burn your drum units. If you burn them, you're going to see it on your copy. It's going to be light. You're just going to pretty much damage your drum units. Okay, so here we have our 4 developer units. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you get a solid color all the way across. A lot of times you may have white lines on your prints. That could be caused by many different issues. One of the most common issues is inside the developer unit you tend to get a little buildup of toner rocks. So when the developer unit is turning, you get white lines. In this case, it's not here. These look pretty good. So when you're turning it, in fact, what I'm doing is right here, I'm pushing down with my finger. You can push down and it rotates the mag roller. Actually, I did see one right here. Let me see if I could. Okay, well, it went away. Okay, I'm going to do the same here. As you can see, they all look good. That's what you want. And this one looks pretty clean as well. But if you do happen to see a white line, that means there is something preventing the developer from sticking to the mag roller. What you can do is, I like to get a regular plastic. I found this plastic piece in our parts area. You can use a piece of paper, you can use anything thin. What you can do is stick the plastic in between the developers, the top portion, and just drag it all the way across just to release any buildup that's getting stuck. Same thing in the bottom. You want to be very careful and kind of make your way into the developer unit just like that. Once it's in there, you just slide all the way across, back and forth. This will remove any little tiny buildup of toner or any little buildup of developer rocks. I'm sliding it back and forth. You want to do the same thing on all the other developers. In case, if you don't have any white lines, you're okay. But if you do have any white lines, do that to it. Just find a way to put this in here just like that. Shove it in there and just move it back and forth, just removing any rock buildup that's there. Once that's done, you can go ahead and put your drum units back, or if you're replacing your drum units, you would put your new drum units back. I'm going to show you how to put it back. It's very easy. You're going to grab your drum, make sure that these 2 dots are on the top position, making the bottom part on the side. You're just going to drop it straight down, line it up, and again, be careful not to hit the drum because any little hit will ding your drum and you've just ruined your drum. So once it's in there, you just push down. You don't have to push down too hard. Now I'm going to put my cyan drum again. A lot of the drums will have a sticker on the side. Make sure that's facing up. Put it straight in like that. Same thing with the magenta. And now lastly, the yellow. Okay, so now we're gonna slide the whole unit back in, push it in just like that till it stops, and then with your both hands, you're just gonna gently push it back in there until you hear the snap. Once that's there, go ahead and push this TBU lever back into home position. Turn these handles straight and they should fall easily. Now on some machines, this might be a little harder. Just make sure. Sometimes you may have to pull it back out, pull it back in, but they have to fall back into home position. If they're not back in home position, don't continue until that you got those back in the home position. So next thing is we're gonna push down on the right lever, bring the left one back up to home position. Same thing with the right one. home position. Make sure to screw that back in until you don't have to do it super tight, as long as until you get to the end of the screw. Once it's tightened, you're good to go. Okay, now we're going to put the front cover back on. You want to start to about a half an inch to an inch below where it's supposed to go. Push in, and then both hands lift up. Sometimes you have to wiggle a little in order to get back into place. Tighten both of these screws. Just like that. I'm going to come over here, tighten this one. It's there. I'm going to close that and close your duplex, and you're good to go. Go ahead and fire the machine up. If it comes to ready, you're good to go. And if you get any errors for whatever reason, repeat the process. Make sure everything's back in place properly, and you're good to go. Thank you for watching.